What's up, guys? Zach with Kentucky Firearms Network. I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story. When I was 17 years old, I was robbed at gunpoint. It was spring, junior year of high school. Me and my brother was walking to the gas station, and a group of guys ran up on us. One of which had a sawed-off shotgun, and he ended up getting my cell phone, my wallet, which only had like $3 to $5 in it at the time. I was like 17 years old. That night, I pretty much remember everything that happened. Me and my brother's walking, just enjoying our night. Decided to go to the gas station and get some snacks. Next thing you know, we hear a group of guys yelling some stuff at us. We didn't think too much of it, so we just kept on pushing on to the gas station, passed up the street where my house is on, instead of just going back to the house like a smart person would have did. We was like, oh, well, let's just keep going to the gas station. They're not going to do anything. They'll leave us alone. Needless to say, we kind of just got caught up in conversation, and next thing you know, we turn around, and here comes the group. They're running at us at this point, so me and him take off running, and the way that this is, the street runs through the middle of a neighborhood, and then you got like a big ditch, some woods, and then the gas station. So I had to jump over this ditch to get to the other side of the I guess the subdivision or whatever. So I ended up jumping, and I caught my foot on, or slipped or something, and I went down. My brother, he ended up continuing on his run to avoid these guys, so he seen that I went down, and he came back. By that time, the guys were already standing over me. I stood up, dusted myself off, turned, and that's when I seen the shotgun pointed at me. The guys, there's about 5 or 6 of them. Most of them had bandanas over their faces, and the guy that actually robbed me with the gun, he didn't have his bandana on his face. So like 30 seconds in, he pulls his bandana up over his face, and I was like, well, that's kind of pointless now. So anyways, yada yada, give me your money, give me cell phone, give me anything you got. I told him, I was like, the most valuable thing I have on me right now is my Carhartt. So he said, give me that. This dude, keep in mind, is probably like 4'3". I think he was like 14 or 15 years old. I gave him my Carhartt, like $3 change, and my cell phone at the time, which was a similar phone to this. I remember being really calm throughout the whole situation. My brother, like I said, he ran ahead of me a little bit, so by the time he got back, he managed to slip his phone down into his sock. And I remember being really calm about the situation. I was kind of a smart aleck. I was irritated that this was going on, and that these guys were like up to here on me and my brother. But the gun was real enough, and I wasn't going to take any chances. My brother was yelling some stuff like, oh, the cops seen you, you all need to go, you need to go, just trying to get him to run away. And I remember that after I gave him my Carhartt, they all took off running like a bat out of hell. And my brother, he asked if I was okay. I asked him if he's okay, and he pulled his phone out of his sock and called 911. Well, the neighborhood that I was living in, there was an officer that lived in that neighborhood, and I guess he heard the call go out over the radio, so he pulled up first, and he sitting there asking us what's going on, which direction they went, blah blah blah. 2 seconds later, the helicopters are coming over, and I don't think it really set in yet what just happened. Me and my brother was just kind of sitting there on the curb talking to the cops. So here comes another car a truck pulls up and the cop's like pushing us back up against like a tree. He drops down and pulls his revolver out of his ankle holster, and he points it at the truck. Well, here comes another off-duty cop that lives in the neighborhood. He's like, what the F is going on, blah, blah, blah. And he told him, and he's like, I'm moving out of this area. He's like, I can't stand it here anymore. So here comes about probably a dozen different police cars. Helicopters going off. I hear the German Shepherd in the background. The canine unit's out looking for these guys. So I hear him on the radio. There's like, hey, we found a jacket. It ended up being my Carhartt, which I never wore again. I don't know, that situation, them taking it, I was just more irritated and pissed off than anything. That's kind of the event that pushed me into the Second Amendment, and I guess you'd call it tactical awareness. There's been several other instances of things that have happened. There was a time that I was walking down the road just talking on my cell phone. The guy snatched my cell phone out of my hand while I was talking on it. That's pretty bad. If somebody can walk straight up behind you and snatch your phone while you're talking on it. I say that's definitely whenever I was like, you know what, I was like, this is crazy. I was like, I need to find out what I need to start doing to protect myself. And about 4 years later, I became a concealed carry holder when I was 21. That was my birthday wish. When I turned 21, everybody's like, what do you want? I was like, I want money so I can take my concealed carry class. I was like, I want to get a gun, and I want to become an instructor. And then it became law enforcement. I went in law enforcement and so on. I don't do it anymore. Well, I never really did it for the money. I did it more for the lesson. I want to teach people, hey, whenever you're getting out of the grocery store, you know, kind of look around, check your surroundings, look around the car, and just be alert. I mean, it's a scary situation. I think later on that night, me and my brother, we was just kind of talking about it, and I was like, man, we could have died. I was like, today would have been the end of us if those guys got scared, or if they were just a little bit more demonized, I guess you could call it. Always be aware of what's going on around you. I know when I'm sitting in a restaurant, I can never sit with my back against the door. Just be aware of what's going on. I'm not going to go into a big rant about tactical awareness and things of that nature. I just kind of want to get my story out about what brought me into firearms, what got me into law enforcement, and what kind of changed my life for this situation. I'd say when I was younger, I was not a big gun person. I mean, I shot guns since I was real little, and I was always like, oh, this is fun, but like I never seen the purpose, I guess, of why is that guy carrying a gun? Like, everybody has their story of what pushed them into the Second Amendment and firearms, and this is mine. December 23rd, we're going to be live streaming, so I'll put out another video, just kind of go over into the details of that. Check us out on Patreon, check us out on Instagram, check us out on Facebook, got our Twitter, everything going, Kentucky Firearms Network. Alright guys, I'll see y'all later. Be safe.